Yo, what's up? Recently I made a video titled Bring Back Quickplay, in which I make the case for why Team Fortress 2 should go back to the old Quickplay system that we had before Meet Your Match. And I said that talking about Quickplay and comparing it to casual matchmaking should be a much more mainstream topic. It should be talked about all the time. Well, someone talked about it, and you could consider this video a response to a specific video called Should We Remove Casual? And I really, really don't like this video, and I'm going to get into why. Before we begin, I would like once again to show castaway.tf, best TF2 server of all time, uses the pre-meet your match rule set. It's fucking good. Go out there, join, and play it. We have daily sessions. Okay, back to the topic at hand. So in this video, this guy paints a specific narrative in which people who are saying that Quickplay should be brought back and we should have a full reversion from casual matchmaking to Quickplay, he calls people that believe in this like radical extremist like ISIS members or some shit. And of course, I'm one of those people that say that Quickplay should be brought back. Then you have the polar opposite of that, the different side, which is the anti-Quickplay douchebag crowd that says that casual matchmaking is awesome. It's the modern standard. It should stay in the game because it's just so good. And then you have this guy who says, actually, you're both stupid and you're all wrong, and I'm going to be the enlightened middle ground character. So he spends the first half of the video talking about how Quickplay was just infinitely superior to casual matchmaking in every single way. Casual matchmaking ruined everything, and Quickplay was just did everything better. And all casual did was introduce a bunch of problems that didn't exist in the Quickplay era. That's what he does in the first half of the video. And then in the second one, he goes, well, we don't actually need Quickplay back because we just don't, okay? So we shouldn't be focused on bringing back Quickplay. And his reasoning here is very funny because it's just not going to happen, okay? So he cites an example, and I don't believe this, but he cites an alleged example where Eric Smith, our Lord and Savior Eric Smith, God bless him, was emailed about a shitty cosmetic, making it so that you can paint it and you can disguise yourself as the fucking green team. And you could just make it so your player model has no distinguishing features of whether you're red or blue. And apparently, good old Eric says that, well, listen, we could fix this. We know this breaks the game. We know it's not supposed to be this way. We know that this game was built upon easy to read silhouettes and you being able to instantly determine who you're fighting. And I know that this would make it so that this destroys the fucking first pillar of team recognition and makes it so a guy could just be impossible to tell whether he's your teammate or your enemy. No. We can't fix this because it's been in the game for a little while. And I think the people who are breaking the game by abusing this would be pretty upset. And, I want you to think about this. If this is real, which, again, I refuse to believe it's real. I'm just going to pretend it's not real. And you don't have a guy just blatantly saying that the game is broken on purpose and that he's not going to fix it. I refuse to believe this is real. This was Photoshop, whatever. But if this is real, he just sort of just nods off like, yeah, this is something that happened. Yeah, this is just how the game is. And if this is real and nobody cares, well, I think this touches on a very important point about the Team Fortress 2 community. But I want you to think about just how sad this is. That this guy just casually explains away that, yeah, the one guy that's still, quote unquote, working on the game right now is saying that he's deliberately keeping in something like this in the game, right? Like the original TF2 team put all of this effort into making everyone fucking recognizable, and you can recognize who you're fighting in a nanosecond. They put all that effort, and of course they made the teams blue and red for simplicity, so you can instantly tell who's your friend, who's your enemy. Now you have Eric Smith, allegedly. I want to believe he didn't say this, but allegedly, Eric Smith just says, yeah, we're keeping in this bug that lets Pyros turn into the fucking green team, and you can't tell if they're your fucking buddy or your fucking worst enemy. We're just deliberately keeping that bug in the game because, well, if we fix the game, it will make some people that are abusing the fact that the game is broken upset. Like, can you imagine the fucking Robin Walker in 2009 saying something like this? Like, he would be like, "Oi, cunt, what the fuck is this shit, man? We gotta fix this, cunt." And then you have Eric Smith, fucking 20 years later or whatever, 15 years later, just casually saying that it's fine. It's fine because people paid money to break the game, so we're not gonna fix it because that would make our whales upset. Fucking depressing. Like, first of all, if that is real and this guy is just calmly telling you about this and nobody in the TF2 so-called community gives a fuck and people just accept this and they're like, yeah, you know what, that sounds about right. Yeah, what are you going to do? I guess we're just going to have to live with the fact that this game is broken forever. um that's fine. Like, already that is a very sad commentary. And it's even more bizarre because the guy later on in the video brings up unmuting free to plays. And to that I say, well, by your own argument, by your own moronic, nonsensical piece of shit, sad, defeatist argument, we should never ask for a free to plays to be unmuted. That shouldn't be a thing because listen, there's some sick fucks out there. There's some headists out there who completely support Roberto Gonzalez 2014 being muted forever because, there's some people out there that think that gibbuses shouldn't be allowed to breathe. If you don't have a fucking unusual, if you're not coughing up money for Gabe Newell's new yacht, you shouldn't be allowed to fucking communicate. You shouldn't be allowed to fucking walk the streets, you disgusting fucking pleb. There's some people who think like that. So, for you to say later on that we should unmute free to plays, we should ask Valve to do that, well, that's very, very strange. That would upset the status quo. Some people would be upset that the game is being fixed, so we shouldn't actually want it to be fixed. Because listen, Eric Smith, what the fuck? Anyway, that's the reasoning he uses for why bringing back Quickplay is just an impossible pipe dream and we should just abandon the idea completely because it's unrealistic and just, no, it's not going to happen. That's the example that supports his claim. So, okay, what does he offer then? He says that casual matchmaking is completely inferior to Quickplay in every way, but we can't bring back Quickplay. Okay, so what do we do? So this guy's take is that we shouldn't bring back Quickplay because it's impossible, because he said so. Instead, we should strive to bring back half of Quickplay. And we should ask Valve, beg and grovel on our knees, that they add in 5 very basic console commands that make casual matchmaking just a little bit more playable and more like the fucking system that we've had over a decade ago that worked perfectly fine. But again, not fully. This isn't fully going back to Quickplay. This is just taking like half of the features that are needed into casual matchmaking. Like, according to this guy, this is more feasible. This is some sort of like bullshit mix of the systems. Like, oh, we're gonna add in like these 5 console commands from the previous system to this system that is fundamentally at odds with the previous system, and we're going to try to mix it, and that's going to make a lot more sense than just a flat out universal reversion. Like, Valve is just, they're much more likely to do this than revert to Quickplay fully. Are they? Like, has that been established? Have you been negotiating with Valve and have they given you their position and saying, okay, we're willing to add in these specific 5 console commands, but only these? This guy completely doesn't mention ad hoc connections. According to him, those shouldn't be brought back in because that's not just a console command, right? Like, so I guess ad hoc connections and the ability to join Valve servers from the server browser and the ability to completely skip matchmaking, which has always been a thing in the Quickplay era and has never been a thing in casual matchmaking, that shouldn't be brought back. Because, like, Valve's just not going to accept that. Like, what are you talking about? why are why are these five console commands acceptable, but supposedly other features that are just as important to fixing the game, suddenly those would be too much, and those would just never be re-added. But those five console commands, oh yeah, they're definitely coming back. Like we can make this happen totally. Like no. If you want to push Valve to improve the game, you gotta do the fucking full thing. You gotta go balls deep. You don't fucking half-ass it and say, okay, we want half of this. Like, if you just say that you want to compromise from the beginning, from the very outset, you say that you don't actually think that you can actually fix the game and you don't think that you can make Valve do anything, well, like, what the fuck kind of mindset is that? Like, you start the negotiations with your full demands and with what you actually want to happen. And then maybe when Valve makes a response and when they actually come out there and point out and say that, okay, we're willing to do some of these things, but not those, then you could say that this is more feasible than a full reversion. Then and only then. But guess what? That isn't what's happening here at all. This is literally just the guy's headcanon where he's saying that we just we just need these five console commands, but we're never going to get a full reversion because we just aren't, okay? No, but really, this guy's telling you that we just need these five console commands, and then we can compromise with casual matchmaking, and then maybe after these console commands are added back in, maybe later on we can ask for more. So this guy's game plan is not mine. Like I say that we need to go from a shitty system to a good system. Simple as that. Complete reversion. This guy's telling you, okay, we have a piece of shit system. Let's add in some good features from the system that work, just a few, just a couple, and then maybe later on we can ask for even more features from the good system to be ported in to the piece of shit system. So, we're going to get one console command this year, maybe the next year we're going to get the other console command, and maybe by the year 2069 we're actually going to have a game that doesn't suck donkey dick. Maybe. Not sure. Maybe. Fuck off. Let me give you an analogy real quick of what I think this means. So, we don't need Quickplay back. We just need most of its features back, but casual matchmaking has to say. So, to me, this is like, okay, I see TF2 right now as a plate full of shit. So, I'm telling you that we need to take this shitty plate and throw it out into the dumpster where it fucking belongs. And I just want some good old pizza on my table, right? That's what I'm telling you when I say that I want Quickplay to be reinstated and I want casual matchmaking to be scrapped. What this guy's telling you is that, okay, wait. Let's bring in the pizza. But don't throw the shitty plate away. Take some of the shit from that plate, take that pizza, and sprinkle that shit right on top. That's what this is about. That is what he's telling you. That is what this supposed compromise sounds like to me. But why? Why can't we just bring back an old system that worked perfectly fine? Why do we have to keep this fucking dog shit? But like we need most of the features from the good system, but we can't throw out the piece of shit completely. Why? See, this guy is taking the very strange position of saying that we need to compromise. And there's some people that are going to be parroting this bullshit, and they're going to be saying that casual matchmaking and quick play need to compromise, and we need the best features from both systems, and then we are going to have the best possible scenario. Let me say that there can be value in a compromise. There can be value in a compromise if there are two sides opposing on an issue that both have valid points. In that case, you could say that, yeah, you know what? We can compromise and we can work out the solution that benefits both sides. But of course, this is not the situation here. And when it comes to people defending casual matchmaking, they never have any actual valid arguments for why the system is good. This guy attempts to do that. This guy attempts to say that, oh, there's some features from casual matchmaking that are really good that just have to be kept in the game and removing them would be bad. bad. Okay, so what good is there from casual matchmaking that you can salvage for this so-called compromise, this quick play casual matchmaking hybrid that we could build? We're going to take all the good things from quick play and we're going to take all the good things from casual matchmaking. What is he suggesting? What does he suggest that we take from casual matchmaking? What is something that is just really good and just has to stay that was brought in with Meet Your Match? I shit you not. This guy is saying that we can't scrap this piece of shit, dog shit casual matchmaking system because we wouldn't have levels anymore. We wouldn't have that badge next to your name when you press tab. You wouldn't have that shiny badge. Oh my god, we just have to keep this because this is such an integral fucking feature of the game right now. It just adds in so much. That is why we can't scrap this broken piece of shit system and revert TF2 back to a time when it was actually good. Because the levels would go. Your precious levels, your precious badge. We can't let that to go. Oh my god, what a waste that would be. Is there not enough meaningless, worthless, bullshit, cosmetic garbage in Team Fortress 2? Like, is there not enough of that? And would this fucking meaningless, worthless piece of shit level badge going away, would that ruin the game? Would that change everything and just make it unplayable? No. If I had the option, again, I'm tier 7, I'll probably be tier 8. I hope I never get to be tier 8 and they just bring back quick play. But I'm tier 7. I played fucking thousands of matches and my fucking level shows that. I would wipe my ass with this meaningless fucking badge and throw it into the garbage if I could get quick play back without missing a beat in an instant. If you gave me that option, I would do that. And if you wouldn't do that, I honestly have no idea what the fuck is even wrong with you. Like, oh my god, I have a shiny badge next to my name. I get to show off how long I played TF2. Hey, you have a Steam profile for that. If you want to show how many hours you played to everybody, that's what that's what your Steam profile is for. This shit is not necessary. It is meaningless and it doesn't do anything. And to go out there and say that this cosmetic fucking trash is the reason why we shouldn't completely go back to a system that made the gameplay experience of this game 1,000 times better. We shouldn't go back because of these fucking badges. I actually have to question your sanity. Genuinely. Hey. You know what they could do with your level badge when they bring back quick play? If you want it so much and if it just has to stay, they could make it like a cosmetic. Like a sort of like a mercenary badge or a dueling badge. And it would show you your stats. And it would say, I played this long through the worst era in Team Fortress 2's entire history. And it would show everyone your level. It could show how many matches you played, whatever, if you really wanted your level to stay. And you could have that badge as a bragging right. I played through the worst era in Team Fortress 2's history. And you could show that off to everyone when you're playing with the quick play system that actually makes this game fun to play. Just saying. Like, I would support that 100%. Another purported benefit of casual, something that just has to stay and just can't be removed, and another reason why we just can't scrap this dog shit system, another reason that is touted is the party system. So, the party system, according to some people, is just the greatest thing that has ever happened. It is such a fantastic feature that was added in 2016 with Meet Your Match. And, it just allows you so easily, to just join the same Valve server with your friends. It just made the process so simple. Let me tell you something about that. Let me tell you an anecdote. So there's this buddy that I have that played TF2 with me all the time. Since we were in short pants, since the Big Bang, we were playing TF2 way back in the day, all the fucking time together, had a blast, had a great time, never had any issues playing together on the same server whatsoever. We could do it all the time. Basically, this buddy, over the years, he started playing TF2 less and less, and really, he basically quit. Partially because of Meet Your Match, but much more importantly, because he's a fucking busy guy. He's like hunting Somalian pirates or some shit, and he doesn't have time to play games at all, especially not TF2, when he comes back. But he actually came back to the game, and he had some time to play. And we wanted to play together like we used to back in the good old fucking days. So we decided we just want to play some pubs. So we're going to use the casual matchmaking system. We're going to use this incredible party system that it added in. And we're going to just play some games together. Very simple. But of course, it's not simple. It's not simple at all. Because this brilliant party system that we just have to keep and is just so good and is just such a great addition to the game that they added in with Meet Your Match. This piece of shit did not let us find the game. Like, this thing happened. And this happens even when you're queuing solo. Like, sometimes you queue, right? And for no reason at all, a few seconds after you select the queue just stops. You're just put out there, nothing happens. And you have to re-queue all the time, and it just doesn't work. You have to, restart the game. You have to, verify the fucking cache or whatever. Something's wrong, and you just can't be put into a server with casual matchmaking. It just doesn't work. Now, when we tried to find servers individually with casual matchmaking, when we weren't using the party system, somehow we could find a game no problem. Like, the queue would be normal, and it would work. But when we queued for a game together, we could not find a game because the queue would just stop after 2 seconds because of some bullshit bug. And this bug has been in the fucking game since Meet Your Match came out. Like, randomly, the fucking queue just stops and it doesn't work. So this party system that supposedly just makes it easier, it just streamlines the whole process of playing with your buddies, actually made it impossible for me to play with my buddies when I wanted to play fucking Valve server pubs. I couldn't do it because casual is just shit. And this party system is no exception. It is a shitty piece of a shitty system that just doesn't work and breaks all the time. Now here's the punchline. Back in the day, in the Quickplay era, when I wanted to play pubs with my buddy, when I wanted to join the same server as he does, I could do that in 2 seconds. We did not have to wait in a queue. We did not have to worry about a queue breaking and not working or taking forever because we could just manually select a server, join it, and then when you see your buddy join that server, you go into Steam, you go into your friends list, you press on your friend, you go into view server info, and you fucking join. And it was that fucking simple. So when people say this shit, when people say that the party system is great and it just makes it so easy to play with your friends, all I have to say is that I have personal experience not only where the party system does not make it easier for me to play with my buddies, but it makes it impossible for me to play with my buddies. So really, I don't know what you're talking about. And if the party system was just an option, if it was just, if you wanted to use it, use it. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't have a problem with it. But that's the thing with the party system. It is not an option. It is a requirement. If you want to play casual matchmaking, if you want to play Valve servers with a buddy of yours, you have to use it. And if it breaks, you're fucked. That is the fucking issue. And yet somehow it's never been an issue that I had to deal with before Meet Your Match. In the Quickplay era, I never had this bullshit happen to me. We just joined the same fucking server. It's as easy as it gets. But oh, guys, we can't get rid of casual because of the party system. What a great improvement. Again, what are you fucking talking about? Another feature that was added in with casual that would be lost if we scrapped the system and went back to Quickplay, the primitive old Quickplay, is queuing for specific maps. Okay, let me just tell you from my experience. how wanting to join a specific map went in the Quickplay era. So you went into Quickplay, you went into show servers on the game mode that you want to play. You find the map that you want to play. You find a server with 20 players or more. You join. This is done in 10 seconds. Okay. Let me explain to you how queuing for a specific type of map that you want to play in casual matchmaking goes. You want to play RD Asteroid? Oh, wait. That's not even in the game. Casual somehow managed to completely destroy that map and it's removed from the rotation. I could join RD Asteroid at any fucking point of time in a day in 10 seconds. Again, I could do that back in the day. But this guy's telling me that I would lose the ability to queue for specific maps. I would lose the ability to queue for those maps, but I would be able to join those maps fucking 50 times faster. If I want to fucking play 5CP, I want to play Foundry today. Foundry is one of my favorite maps in the game. I want to play that map today. I am going to be forced to wait in queue, and I'm either going to be waiting for 25 seconds, rarely, if I'm very lucky, or more likely, I'm going to be waiting for 25 minutes, right? Because I can't join that server manually. So this guy's telling me how great it is that I can queue for specific maps when I know from personal experience that in the Quickplay era, I would be able to join maps that I want to play a fucking 100 times faster consistently all the time. But hey, guys, we can't go back to Quickplay. We just can't, okay? Guys, look. Valve's never going to bring back Quickplay to TF2 because they're afraid of creating friction in the community. That's what he said. That's his words, not mine. And he cites an example here where he believes that Valve saw some crypto-communist propaganda tabloid article about TF2 and they said free-to-plays voted in a drum for some shit and they're literally Hitler and they need to be muted. And Valve read that article and they muted free-to-plays in 2020. And that's the reason why free-to-plays have been muted for 4 years. So, Valve saw this article, they saw friction, and then they acted. And that's why free-to-plays are muted to this day, according to this guy. Again, I want you to think about how fucking depressing this is. That this guy just very calmly, very casually, very just matter of fact tells you that he is basically certain that every single free-to-play player in this game doesn't have the ability to communicate, not just the type, not just the speak and voice, not just the type. He can't call for fucking medic. He can't call for vote kicks. His fucking right to vote doesn't exist. All of this happened because of some fucking homo from Kotaku. Can you imagine if that's actually true? And can you imagine how fucking embarrassing it is that we have this fucking pussy-ass community that accepts this and says, you know what? The fact that some fucking retard from Kotaku has managed to take away the rights from free-to-play players for years at this point. Basic gameplay functionality was taken away because of some fucking Kotaku article. This is fine. This is completely understandable. We understand Valve here. I don't actually think that's the full, story of it. I really don't think the Kotaku article is all that fucking, Valve, considered when they taxed free-to-plays. But if that is the common understanding of the situation, and if everybody in this so-called community believes that fucking Kotaku did this shit, and they're completely fine with it, and Valve is not getting any fucking backlash, and after 4 years of this being implemented, people still don't give a fuck. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Again, I've said this once, I'll say it a fucking million times. The TF2 quote-unquote community is the most spineless, pussy fucking community in gaming. It is embarrassing, dude. The idea that the fucking rights of the player base can be completely trumped and taken away because of fucking video game journalism. The fact that that is an acceptable state of mind for this fucking so-called community, I mean, it just says it all, doesn't it? Valve actually cares more about one fucking idiot and some fucking crypto-communist fucking propaganda outfit than they do about anyone actually playing the game. Yeah, this is fine. You know, like tens of thousands of free-to-play players being fucked because of a Kotaku article is completely fine. This isn't a problem. We don't want to step on Valve's toes, guys. They're such a great corporation. I think we should spend $10,000 on keys every fucking year to support this brilliant fucking company, you know? But it's hilarious. This guy tells you that Kotaku and people that don't even play this game writing some shitty clickbait article that has more sway with Valve than literally anyone playing this game. And tens of thousands of players are worth less in the eyes of Valve than some fucking random video game journalist. And his response to that isn't to say that this is bad, isn't to say that this is the most fucking absurd shit you can think of. His response to that is, we need to play nice with Valve. Because look how much they care. Like, what the fuck, dude? But I just find it hilarious. This guy tells you that the one thing that Valve doesn't want is friction. They don't want to create friction. And then he says when it comes to Quickplay being re-added, it's impossible, we shouldn't even bother. You know, so we don't want to step on Valve's toes. Like, his own point doesn't make sense here. If Valve doesn't want to deal with friction, the best way that you could get Quickplay to be considered is to create friction, to actually go out there and stand up and demand for a massive systematic change. And again, we wouldn't be fucking walking into the dark here. We wouldn't be asking for something that, you know, we don't know how it's going to end up. No, we know Quickplay. We've seen it, and we know that it works, and it works a fucking million times better than this piece of shit casual matchmaking system. And Valve doesn't want friction. Well, hey, what do you know? Maybe the best thing you could do in this situation, if you want Quickplay, if you want the fucking game to improve, if you want something to be done from Valve, you know what has to be done? Friction has to fucking come into play. People actually have to fucking go out there and demand that the game is fixed. Not half fixed, not a little bit fixed, but fully. But instead, you have this fucking clown come out and tell you that we don't want to create friction. We don't want to ask for something seriously. We don't want anything. We don't want this game to actually be fully fixed. We want to do this pussy, half-assed bullshit where we say, oh, we just want a little bit. We just want a little bit of the game to begin better, not fully. We don't want to step on your toes, Wow. We really want to. We don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Oh, you know, like, what are you talking about? The player base, if they actually want serious changes to be made and serious improvements to be made, has to fucking come together and force the issue. Like, people have genuine grievances with this fucking piece of shit casual matchmaking system that have been boiling for fucking years. They've existed on day one of the patch. People hated the system from day one, and people still hate it to this day. What you do is you force the issue. You go out there and you fucking aggressively state that this is unacceptable. This has never been acceptable, but, you know, and finally, maybe after 8 years, we are capable of at least, you know, causing some sort of uproar about the fact that you have destroyed this game for almost a decade. You know, like, that's what you should do. Not fucking go out there and pussyfoot around and talk about compromise and how you don't want to cause friction when friction is exactly what is needed for Valve to fucking pay attention. This guy just proves a point on exactly why this game has been fucked for so fucking long. Precisely because of people like this, because of mindsets like this, because of constant compromise thinking, because of constant fucking douchebags on YouTube playing a Valve apologists and saying that we don't need to hold Valve accountable for all of the bullshit that they've done, pretending that the game doesn't have problems and it's fine and we don't need to fucking ask Valve for actual serious improvements to the game and for serious changes to be made. Exactly because of people like this. Because of a mindset like this is why we don't have quick play anymore. This is why we have this broken casual matchmaking piece of shit. This is why we had a bot crisis that lasted fucking over 5 years. This is why free-to-plays are still muted. This is why the game is still fucked. And you have this guy doubling down and saying, we haven't compromised enough. We need to fucking keep compromising until the heat death of the universe. Because it's been working so well so far, this compromise mindset, this playing apologetics for Valve and not holding them accountable for anything. It's worked so well for so long, right? We should just keep doing it. And I'm sure if we do it for another 8 years, we're going to have a great fucking time. Like, everything's going to be fixed. But by all means, do not actually step up. Do not actually demand that the game gets better. No, compromise. Don't go out there and try to say that Valve is a piece of shit company that has fucked this game for 8 years and it fucking has to fucking fix the game. Don't do that. Just compromise. Keep compromising. You know, the TF2 community is really fantastic. Valve is going to take a fucking shit on their heads and they're going to say, thanks for the hats. And this is the mindset that got us into this shit in the first place. This is why we're so fucked. This is why this game is so fucked. You know? Because when Valve fucks up, as they have been consistently doing as far as TF2 is concerned for the past 8 fucking years plus, when Valve completely drops the ball and ruins everything, they know they don't need to worry about anything because they have the most pathetic, pussy-ass, spineless community in fucking gaming that is not only not going to fucking give them any backlash, not only are they not going to be held accountable, people are going to be playing apologetics for them. People are going to justify everything they do. People are going to say, well, it's actually not that bad because we're getting a bunch of hats and skins every year, so the game is completely fucking fine. You know, you're going to have people like that, and you're going to have people that are saying, when Valve fucks up, guys, let's compromise. Let's not try to say that this company fucking this game is a problem because, well, okay. So yeah, I think this video perfectly illustrates my point that the TF2 community is the most spineless in gaming. That after 8 years of the game being broken and this guy knowing that the game is broken and that it needs to be fixed, he's still not ready to actually go out there and say that Valve needs to fix the game. After 8 years, he will still say, let's compromise. And I mean, that just says it all, doesn't it? So TF2 YouTube, as it's been for almost a decade by now, never fails to disappoint. Anyway, as far as mainstream TF2 YouTube goes, I guess the next thing we can look forward to is Zesty Jesus' video on Quickplay, which, when that comes out in 2047, I'm sure it's going to be a hit. But I really hope that he doesn't water down the arguments like this guy did, because that would be really fucking sad. But I gotta be honest, my faith in any TF2 e-celeb is very, very slim. Far as I'm concerned, my jihad against casual matchmaking is not over. And the best way that you can join me in my holy war against casual matchmaking is to abandon casual matchmaking. And if you want to play Team Fortress 2 the way it was meant to be played, as always, I suggest you join castaway.tf, the best TF2 community server running the old pre-meet your match quick play rule set that allows you to play this game the way it was meant to be played. And if Valve's never going to fix this game, we're going to fix it our fucking selves.